Hi, everybody. It's Romania Black, and we are in the wild, wild west days of Word of Honor as we're on episode 32. Just at this point, the budget's run out. So I'm anticipating that it's just going to be a free for all. It's like, what are we going to talk about? What are we going to get to? Are we going to skip around? The one exciting thing is that whatever happens from here on in, we still have the novel to go through. So we'll get to like fill in the gaps and see what was changed and altered and et cetera, et cetera. So I'm pretty excited about that, honestly. I think that's going to be pretty fun to go through. But I have two comments I want to talk about before we dive into this episode. Be Happy has already told me that there is a behind the scenes clip that she has put in the Discord that we'll get to after the episode. And there is some changed dialogue. So I'm like, good. That might mean some spicy things. I will just have to see. But I wanted to point out Leah over on Discord had been talking about, this is around the time that episode 30 came out. Leah had talked about saying, I've been rewatching some early episodes, and what caught my attention is how WEN KEXING often makes bittersweet references to his past. For example, when Jojishu asks him whether WEN KEXING is his real name, he says, doesn't it suit me? A gentleman as warm and soft as jade. Except in Chinese, he says this phrase, and there's Wen, warm, run, smooth, Ru, as like, and you, jade. So now guess what? 3 out of those 4 characters are the exact same ones used in his father's name. Oh, the angst, oh, the connections, oh, I love it. So yes, I thought that was really, really cool. So thank you for pointing out, Leah. I think that's something cool. I feel like a lot of Chinese viewers will pick up on so much more than I will because, or if you don't know Mandarin or you don't understand the culture, there's so much you miss out on. So it's nice when people point those things out, right? And then Night Owl for episode 30 says, throwing it back to WEN KEXING in all red with that killer eyeliner. My God, he's so hot. But what really hits is how much he's changed since then. You barely recognize that version of him anymore. It feels like a lifetime ago, which shows how far he's come. And when we see him sleeping in red again, the symbolism cuts deep. The color remains, but it's no longer the sharp, blood-like crimson. Instead, it's softer, muted, reflecting a man no longer consumed by vengeance, but reshaped by love, grief, and change. I couldn't say it better myself if I tried. I love it. I love that. I love the way that Night Owl worded that because it's just, that's it. That's the change, and it's just so good. I'm realizing that wearing this shirt, which is a little bit warmer, and having this light on me is like, oh, so hopefully I don't sweat through it, but thank you all so much for your comments and your kind words. I'm pretty excited to get into this last part of the whole thing. Before we start, though, I want to give a shout out over to our philanthropy tier over on Patreon to thank you all so much for your kindness and your support as I go through Word of Honor. It really means a lot, and it has helped me to get prepped with other shows on my channel and do lots of other fun things. So with that being said, thank you to Alex Cornejo, Be Happy, Bisa, Dana, Damage3245, Devorin, Destiny Marie, Daniel, Danger Zone, because I have to say it that way. Dawood Knight, as well as Alyssa, Eric Ichu, Fisho, Ghostly Turnip, El Freya, Liam Polzel, Lyndon, Murphew, Mochi Kun, Willie Morris, Translucent Men, Sunspots, and Shimoyama. Thank you so much for all of your support. I greatly appreciate it. All of my love. So, yeah. Cool. And also shout out to the commission tier people, Sean and Nicholas, who have both been members as well in the philanthropy tier in the past. So yeah, I'm excited. We are obviously starting at the 1 minute and 48 second mark as per usual, but I'm pretty excited to see what we get. This episode's 43 minutes long, so it's about the same as last week, but with the behind the scenes and the dub scene, I'm pretty excited to see what we get there. But anyway, I hope you all enjoy this, but let's go ahead and get started. We are going to dive in episode 32 of Word of Honor, and we are going to do that here in 3, 2, 1, and let's see what we get. Episode 32. Oh, we're back here. Oh. Oh, look at muted tone that... Uh... You don't get it. Ah! Aw. Oh! Oh, so we can't be drinking. Oh! 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 What about the sex part? Oh, yeah, we don't have WEN KEXING here. Oh, yeah. Aw. Oh. Well, quit making sense. Oh man, we're gonna go back down and break that scene up. It's the feeling. Oh. He's like, wait, what? What did you agree on? Oh. Uh-huh. What else? You were gonna say something else there. We were gonna go back to that. Oh. Oh. Oh, well, shit, here we go. Oh, here we go. Yeah, we were worried about that. Okay. Well, I mean, elixir of life is a strong phrase. Something important, you say. He's like, I didn't come all this way for you not to accept this. 5 days, huh? Take the box. Well, you've already jinxed him too late. Oh my God. You go on that horse. They're like, this place is called Teawater. Those are your options. Somebody's like, do you have any milk? Oh, what a shot. Oh. You would say that about it. You would. Aww. I love these muted purple robes on him. Oh my God. What? 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 Oh my God. We escalated real quick with that. Is it really WEN KEXING? Or is it a trap? Or... Oh! Oh! Oh, we're in the blue robes! Well, shit. And Changling's there too, damn it! Oh my God, the fan with the tinge of blood. Ugh! I'm interested with the Scorpion King and Zhao Jing together. We've definitely missed something. And Shinshin! Changling, why are you evil? Scorpion King looks like he's about to, like, because he's worked with WEN KEXING. Oh my god, WEN KEXING. Like the guy in the back's like, no thank you. Oh, there's the key. Okay, so it is a legit thing. Is that the truth or a lie? If you want it, come and claim it. The Scorpion King's like, now hold on. I was like, they've talked about this. So did they set this up? Uh-huh. But he doesn't know about Zhao Jing. Oh. Oh, did they see each other there? Oh my god. Changling is like this little rage monster. I hate that. I hate that so much. Ah. Oh. He would let Changling kill him. He would let him do it, though, because he sees himself in Changling. Then why'd you bring him? No, he's actually not lying about that, but it's like... Oh, Zhao Jishu's like, who's speaking on my behalf? Oh, bitch, what? Actually, I want to just smack Zhao Jing in the face right here and right now. And he has a sword behind his back, so I don't trust that at all. He's got that damn sword behind his back. I don't trust him. He's like, I'm going down here to see you, so never don't try to. Oh my god, I love it. I live. I love him stepping in the water that's like blood soaked. Oh, the height difference. Oh. Oh, I love. Oh, I live. Oh, I live. He's like, I don't give a shit. Don't give a shit. Don't give a shit. I don't know why they're not talking about Zhao Jing and how he's responsible for all this. Oh my god. I'm surprised. Why don't they try to, like, reveal what Zhao Jing has done? Oh! Oh, hey, everybody! Nice of you to show up! Oh, shit. He's like, yeah. Oh my god. Oh well. Oh shit. Ah! But why? Oh. Oh my god. And there's a damn ghost. Oh my god. This is happening really fast. Son of a bitch. Ah! Mm-hmm. Uh-huh. Don't be getting any ideas, Scorpion King. Oh my god. I love them working together so much, but Yay by Eve freaks me out. I'm not worried about Shojishu versus the three of these guys. I just love that the fan is tinged with blood. It's great. Damn it, Changling! Changling, don't you be killing anybody! Oh my god. Oh shit. Oh my god. Changling, do not end up getting hurt in all this. Ugh! Oh my god. Oh. Oh my god. Oh no! Who did that? Changling. Oh my god. What? Changling! Oh my god, they won! Looking like it ate. Oh, you would! You would have a song like that play! You would! You bitch! You two gonna die together? Oh, shut up! Oh no! 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 We're not even halfway through the episode! Malicious is like, really? It was that easy? Oh, Scorpion King. Never. Yeah, but he has the key. You just knocked the key down the ravine. Bitch, what? Who is offering a hug? That is important to know. Oh my god. We sped run through that, my friends. Shaman's like, oh, so you jumped off a cliff when I told you not to do anything to hurt your body? But I don't think he's at the shaman. Peace Hotel? Was it? Was it? Oh, so it wasn't a dream. Oh, sweetheart. Oh, sweetheart. Oh, sweetheart. Oh, sweetheart. Well, where's everybody else? Yeah, I don't blame this guy for freaking out. What? I feel like there's so much that has been left out. Wow, and it's Shinshin and Yeibai and him. What? Insane. I'm really surprised. Uh-huh. Okay, so that we're still in the same day, right? We're still, but who saved Josh? Yeah, so Yeibai, you dropped him off at the hotel, maybe? Oh. Ooh. He's like, bitch, I'll slit your throat. I really had lots of thoughts. I still have lots of thoughts, but I'm very curious. And Mo was there. Where's Changling? He's like, bye! Off to go do boomer things! Everybody's like, what a tacky guy. Shinshin looks half drunk or depressed or traumatized or all three. I would have thought that the Scorpion King would have schemed a little bit more at this point. Because when KEXING talked about things, was that all cut out? Now I want to read the novel more than ever because I'm like, I need to know. Oof. Ooh. He's like, well, this is awkward. And uncouth. That's right, Fawn, get out of here. Ditch this party. Oof. Uh-huh. Oh, is it an example? Mmm. Oh, we're not gonna talk about the Scorpion King. Oh. Oh, wow. And he's like, this is what he's wanted. Oh. As his son. And with his name. Shinshin's like, I'm not gonna talk about it. Okay, Changling, rage monster. Oh. Uh-huh. Oh my god. What the fudge? I thought you were nice. I thought you were nice. Why? I thought he was nice. Oh man. Oh my god, I really liked him. Oh my god. Oh my god. It's like the worst timeline. Okay. So sad, but Alluring Ghost looks incredible. Can we just talk about that real quick? She looks amazing. She looks like a dream. She's... Oh, bitch. Oh my god. Oh my god. Oh my god, girl. Ah! This episode is Roughsville. This episode is Roughsville. I do love the scene of her with the funeral paper. By far my favorite part of this episode. She looks gorgeous. That the symbolism is so good. She looks incredible. Oh, why? Oh! We still have like 6 episodes left! I want to quote Morgan McMichaels and say he looks pretty good for a dead bitch, but... I'm like, he can't be dead. There's no way. There's no way. Uh-huh. Okay. Aww. Good for sewing. How? Oh my god. You gonna grab the body and go? Oh. Oh my god! Oh my god! I like that their 2 colors make his color. Oh. 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 Oh my gosh. Oh my god. Oh. He's like, well, damn, I probably could have waited until they showed up. Oh, no! Oh, wow. Okay. Oh, my God. Oh, well, he's like, if he's gone, oh, my God. Oh, my God. This episode is the worst timeline. Oh, my God. We went from bad to worse so quickly. He's like, screw the great shaman's orders. Gonna get crunk in honor of my beloved. Oh. I even brought a spare, smaller, but still equally potent bottle of Emperor's Smile to this location. You're going to give us a damn montage of them together. We're only on episode 32. We're only on episode 32. Oh, you the choices for this. You better have them underwater. You better have them underwater. Yes, good. Good, good, good. I refuse to believe that he's dead because we still have so much time left. But I'm also like, I don't know how when you burn the body, he doesn't, unless Alluring Ghost grabbed the body and was like, you moron, no. Is this the price we pay for the censors being on vacation? Did they send a memo to corporate? Why? I mean, they clearly didn't because we get this. Did he hear that? Shut up. Ah! Oh. Oh. Oh, but we're going to change our tune since he's been killed. The moral of the story is let's not kill the gay men and their couples because you might leave the other one to be consumed by thoughts of revenge. I don't know. I figured we could. Oh. Oh. Oh my god. Jojishu carrying out his wishes. Oh. Oh. Is he gonna... Oh. Oh my god. So he's gonna basically bulk himself up to go in there and just wreck shit. Oh. Oh, not Shangling! You replaced Master Mo! Oh. Oh. Hmm. Scorpion King, what we thinking? Uh-huh. I mean, Jojishu, I would not be surprised if he came into wreck shit. Ooh. I like the thread tying to the hanging ghost. That's pretty cool. I did not expect this at all. I really thought we were gonna like have an affront on Zhao Jing to call him out for everything he's done, and they're just like not even. Oh my god! Changling, why'd you go incel? Why? Why? Zhao getting everything he wants in this is insane. Insane! The fudge! I am so floored by this episode. Oh, well. Or is this. Or is this all a front? Who knows? The three of them, like on either side of him, is. That's so creepy. What are we doing? It felt like there was going to be a betrayal there, and then there wasn't. Hmm. Hmm. Oh. Everybody's just pouring out their wine. Pouring one out this episode. Just pouring it out. Hmm. Okay. Interesting. Well, everybody's just breaking bottles all up in this episode. Pouring them out, breaking the bottles. Hmm. Huh. Oh. Hmm. Oh. Ooh, that is pretty cool. I do like that. Uh huh. Uh huh. Uh huh. Which was wrong, Sean. Mm-hmm. His son, yep. Mm-hmm. Hmm. Oh. Oh yeah, bye, boomer. Yeah, so Prince Jin, what about him? I mean, this is Zhao Jing, but what about Prince Jin in all this? He's like, I'm not into dudes. I don't swing that way. Oh. Ooh. Ooh. Oh, you're the leader of the venomous scorpions. What? What? What about Scorpion King? You're taking his credit. What? What? Oh. Oh, bitch. Uh-oh. You put too many hands in the pot. Wow. Oh, bitch, you overstepped. Holy shit! Okay! This is the best development of the episode. Your politics did not work. Oh, you're gonna throw him under the bus. You're gonna throw him under the bus. Oh my god. Oh. Oh. Bitch! Oh. 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 Well, this episode was insanely sad. This episode was insanely sad, and we're in the worst timeline now. I joked at the beginning of my September update video that this was going to be the September of suffering, but I wasn't really having word of honor in mind when I said that. Holy shit, what was this episode? This episode was weird. This episode was weird. Yeah, pacing. Pacing is a thing. It has gone out the window in this. I look, the one thing I don't want to know from the comments is I don't want a play-by-play of what all was skipped over in the novel. I don't want that because I'm going to read the novel and find out for myself. So that is the one thing. But obviously, I'm sure you all will have frustrations that are similar to mine when you first watched this episode, especially if you hadn't read the novel. That's kind of why I wanted to read this. I wanted to watch this first because if my philosophy is if I watch a series like an adaptation that's an anime or a donghua or a danmai that's live action, and something is done that's like, then when I read the source material and it's amazing, it's going to be like, oh, well, glad. Because if I'd done it in reverse and I'd read the book and then got to this and saw stuff skipped over or altered, I would have been pissed. I wasn't mad by this episode, but I was very bewildered. I was like, oh, we've skipped over some things, and there's some character development that feels not out of nowhere, I don't want to say that, but that is ignoring a lot of things. And so I feel like stuff has been skipped, stuff has been condensed, stuff has been left out, and it felt rushed. Very rushed. And I didn't have time to really soak it in. So we're going to break it down and kind of talk about like things that are left unsaid. Do I think Wen Kexing is dead? I want to say no, but I'm also like, maybe. I'm also like, did he? Here's the thing. I don't know. There's a part of this that feels like a trap and like a setup. And then there's another part of this that feels like it's genuine. And then there's another part of it that feels like it's forced. And I can't decide which it is. And that's, I guess we're going to find out. We still have episode 33, 34, 35, 36, 36. We still got like 4 or 5 episodes left. So, okay. So I guess we need to start back at the beginning here. We do have an extra credit, like a behind the scenes thing and an altered line. But we need to get to this first, okay? So we started out, Wen Kexing had gone to get something important from the Ghost Valley. What's kind of disorienting at this point is that a lot of things from the last episode, we jumped through so much because they didn't have time to film everything. They had to cut out so much that things jump around. And it feels like there have been things missing. So when we last left him, he was with the tragic comic ghost and Wen Kexing in the Ghost Valley. That's where we left him, in his red robes, looking like he was, reminiscing with her, talking about their past, their mistakes, their regrets, things like that. But in the meantime, what has been left out, seemingly, is him getting the key. He got the key at some point. It is an actual key. He got the key, and then we don't know what happened with the tragic comic ghost. Don't know where she went. What happened with her. Also, he changed robes. That's probably, this sounds very superficial, but that seems like one of the most egregious things is that we don't know. We didn't get the moment of him changing the robes, because the changing of the robes feels so symbolic to me of him choosing not to be the Ghost Valley chief, but instead choosing to be Zhou soulmate. And that feels like it should be such a ceremonial, sacred act. And yet they just made it an off-screen costume change. And I'm like, but there's so much symbolically with that. You chose to gloss over it, but why? I'm going to be going, but why? Throughout a lot of this episode. So get ready to hear me squonking like an ostrich or a peacock going, but why? For a lot of this episode. But yeah. So everything was just going so well, doing all fine and dandy. And we had, I do love Zhou Jishu's robe change. The muted purples, they look great on him. I love that they're kind of like a nice little in-between from him being like the assassin and him being a beggar. It's like a nice little in-between. But so talking this about, I like that the Lord Seventh gives him a little bit of a hard time, because he's like, hey, we were friends, but he's like, you said last time we'd meet up again, we'd drink an entire glass as punishment and get crunk together. And they're about to, and then Guzhong's like, no, you're supposed to be having a clean liver for this medicine to work. And they basically, I like that the great shaman kind of sides with Guzhong, and she's like, no, you guys need to be in peak physical health. Not even a drop is allowed. He's like, why are you making this difficult for me, Wuji? And so he says, you made it difficult for me first. I like this. So he says that your injury is tricky and odd. So even if your body could regulate in the most utmost condition, I can't guarantee that I can heal you. So he's like, what more is there to say? And then he says, before you've healed, wine, sex, wealth, and anger. I don't know how wealth impacts your ability to heal. I don't know how that factors in, but apparently it does. But no wine, no sex, and no anger. Well, guess what? Joji, she's been walking around without 2 out of 3, so I guess anger it is. I was just like, I was waiting for that to be a thing, and I was like, okay, I guess we'll deal with that. I thought there would be an altered line with that scene, but there is not in this case. There is not. Instead, he just kind of goes, apparently, we're not to the altered line yet, but I thought maybe there's something more of that. But, you know, Joji, she was like, oh, you know, when you're talking seriously, I don't need you to guarantee. He's like, 50% is enough. I love that he's like, you know what, 50% is enough. No anger. We can have wine. Sex is on the table, right? This part of the episode was so good. I love them talking. He's like, I need you to guarantee me. And he's like, I'll tattle to Master when he comes back. And everything's fine. He's like, it's all good. He's like, your abilities to smell and taste were lost long ago. So why does it matter about the drink? Drink some tea. And he's like, it's not about the wine. It's about the principle of it. And there is some truth to that. If you are a recovering alcoholic, a lot of people we have talked about like no alcohol bars, but there is a social convention with drinking, especially in public, where it's an event and it like you feel left out if you're not participating in the event. That's why there's a lot of like non-alcoholic beers, a lot of non-alcoholic spirits now to try to not only help people that are recovering from addiction kind of wean off while still maintaining that psychological effect, but also it's like a cultural thing. Like, unfortunately, there is a stigma when you go out and you don't drink. There is a cultural stigma to it sometimes, depending on the company you're with. And Jojishu kind of touches upon that in this, right? But yeah, so I'm skipping around, but I do love the idea that Jojishu told Guzhong and Sao Weining to go back to Nianjing with the Lord Seventh and the Great Shaman, two supportive allies. Yeah, I feel like, especially with the idea that Guzhong is very much like the women from Nianjing, I feel like that was kind of hinting that that would be a place for them to go. We'll talk about Master Fawn. What a 180. Like, I felt so betrayed watching this episode. In a lot of ways, I felt so betrayed watching this. I was just sitting there like, I feel betrayed as a viewer. We'll talk about this. This is the price we pay for the censors going on vacation. This is the price we pay. So I am jumping ahead, but the Lord Seventh and Great Shaman, they kind of disappear for after this episode for the rest of the scene. But Jojishu, he sends Guzhong and Sao Weining away to them, which honestly also feels like him protecting her now that when KEXING is gone. I felt so bad for Guzhong in this. I felt so bad for her. She is like literally had to deal with losing when KEXING, and then the people that she thought were taking her in and being so kind to her immediately turn on her. I felt like I would have felt so awful as her. Luckily, Sao Weining is a damn gentleman and a damn man of his word and the nicest being in this series, and he loves her regardless and doesn't let her go. I was like, oh, I'm like, if anybody needs to be loyal to her right now, it's Sao Weining, and he proves that. Now, in this, he's like, what does Great Lord Seventh say? He said, the old friend seemed to have no intention of showing up, which is talking about Jojishu. I also remember someone had once asked me to find him a slender Nianjiang lady. And it's just like, Guzhong's like, oh, was that you? Turns out I found quite a few. And I love Jojishu's face. He's like, well, that was before I figured out that I liked men. Ha 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 ha. He's like, ugh, but some people. And then he stops. He's like, here, let's have another drink. So it's almost like the Lord Seventh's like, yeah, back then you told me to find you some really attractive ladies, but now that we've met back up again, I can see that you're not interested. My, how times have changed. He just cuts off there, and I felt like there was something else in the dialogue there, but they don't say anything else about it. So yeah, so then we cut to Achin Lai, who was ordered by the Great Seventh by Lord Seventh to stay with Chengling. Well, that didn't, he's like, by the way, your disciple has completely turned tail and ignored everything you taught him and now is maybe an incel, so I hope that's okay. Changling, oh my god, he's like, he doesn't want me to assist him anymore. And he's like, yep, he found out that when Keshing was the Ghost Valley chief and he asked me to come back. And Jojishu's like, oof, we need to come up with a plan to deal with that. Well, no time for that in this episode. That doesn't happen. So, okay. So Great Shaman gives him this little compact, this cute comment with the compact with the bomb, saying, I pulled all the resources I could from Nanjiang, and I created this elixir of life for you. And he's like, that's not gonna be necessary. Famous last words. So there is this elixir of life. We're gonna put this up here. That is this little bomb. And what does he say there? He describes it and it comes back. He's like, I'm going to resolve this misunderstanding between Lao Wen and Changling. He promised me he'll no longer take notice of the Ghost Valley matters. He just went to obtain something important, and then he would live a life with me. Well, all of that goes to shit in this episode. All of that, all those plans go to pieces. None of that ends up happening. So his plan was to get the key and come back with him, and they were just going to ignore everybody else. That didn't happen at all. And he's like, well, just in case, take it. You know, no matter how severe the injuries are, my medicine can guarantee to recover 5 days of your life. And he's like, okay. So this elixir of life can heal for 5 days of life. Which he ends up, it looks like he ends up using it, I guess, to basically, he's like, I'm going to use this to power me up for 5 days and ward off the nails, and then I'm gonna go wreck shit, and then after that, if I die, I die. And so he's like, well, what if Sir Wen needs it? Oh my god, don't Jan. He's like, don't jinx him, alright? Too late. The moment he said that, I was like, you have jinxed him. What if he needs it? But I'm like, you didn't end up using the bomb. I was like, he didn't end up using the bomb on him, so what do we do about this? Okay, so he tells him to take it. And then he shows up on his horse. I did love this scene. This is before everything goes to shit. I love this scene where he's talking about, you know, I'll temporarily set the white deer free among the green cliffs and the mount them when need to visit you in the mountains when they arise. So he quotes this poem, and there's this beautiful moment where Jojishu talks about how, you know, the Deer Valley, the White Deer Valley is supposed to be like right around the Ghost Valley, this ominous place. But he's like, it's actually really quiet and peaceful. That line and this scene where he shows up and examines the place surrounding the Ghost Valley, it felt the most MXTX I've felt in this entire series, because MXTX's works, Modao Zushi, Heaven Official's Blessing, Scum Villain Self-Saving System, they're all the first 3 Danmai that I ever read before this one and have watched. And that line there seems like such an MXTX line, because it made me immediately think of aligning Jojishu with like Shi Lien, where they're both like, wow, this thing that people think is so evil and horrible and cruel is actually really nice and peaceful. Like, if you look at it from a different perspective, it's actually really nice. That was a straight up Shi Lien line, and I was like, I felt it. That just seems so good. Rumors have made the Ghost Valley dark and mysterious, yet Mount Qingya seems like such a quiet place. Well, maybe y'all can take up residence there if when Keshing rises from the dead like a proverbial Jesus. Who knows? Who knows? So then they come in and reveal that the Ghost Chief is being cornered and they're going to execute him. And Jojishu's like, I thought he was just running to grab something from the oven. Didn't know there was about to be a whole damn fire. So, oh my God. Like, it just all goes downhill. So they go to the White Deer Cliff. It all goes downhill from here. So we skipped a ton of shit. We skipped a ton of shit to get to this point. So things skipped that I can think of. First, we had Wen Keshing and the tragicomic ghost and the clothes being changed. That was a thing. Then we had Shangling and Shinshin catching up with Zhaojing and the Scorpion King. That was all skipped over. They're just immediately together to go after it. And this entire scene is very reminiscent of Rongzhang getting cornered. Very reminiscent. The only thing that is insane in all of this, seemingly, is that Changling is mirroring Zhao Jing in killing or poisoning Wen Kexing. The only thing I could think of that makes any remote sense is if this was all a big ruse and Changling like shot Wen Kexing with like a sedative dart that would sedate him and make him fall into a coma or something so that he would look like he was dead. But I don't think that's the case at all. I think he was being genuine, which broke my freaking heart in all of this. I was like, what? So they cornered him. The whole thing, what about like Zhao Jing and Scorpion King making up? Which at this point, I mean, because of the Water of Oblivion plot, where's that? Where's that at? Where's the Water of Oblivion side plot? That's been abandoned. I feel like in the book, there's probably a part where Zhao Jing works his toxic magic on Scorpion King. He's like, I didn't mean to be mean to you. Please come back to me. And because the Scorpion King still loves him, he's going to do it. Because it's how those types of relationships often work. And so there's that. But then, what about the Scorpion King and Wen Kexing and their convo? What about their agreement? What about the trap that they supposedly were planning on happening? Is that still in effect and it just hasn't happened yet? And we're just waiting this out? I want to have faith in the show and feel... I want to have faith in the show. Changling, I think, is all authentic. I don't think Changling meant to save Wen Kexing at all. I don't know. I think he meant to kill him. And I'm like, what? So we're going to talk about Changling. I feel so betrayed by Changling in this. And maybe the book will be different. I feel like there was a lot of development of Changling's anger that this show has conveniently cut for us. And when I get to the novel, it's going to be explained more. But I don't know. But I also feel as if there is a chance the Scorpion King and Wen Kexing formed an agreement, they formed a trap, and all of it is still in effect, and they know something the audience does not yet. Because Wen Kexing falling off the cliff and going to his death and looking up so longingly, but with like love at Jojishu, you could argue that he was just like, hey, see ya, bestie, see ya, soulmate. But also I feel like he'd be a little bit more afraid if he really was dying, or if he didn't know this was all going to happen and didn't have something prepared. I don't know. I would like to think that. But so we get, and maybe the behind the scenes part, I'll talk about it. So yeah, but Wen Kexing's in not his ghost chief robes, but in his old robes. And so the assassins show up to fight him, which they're both here. I believe they're fighting him, but I just hate that Changling's there. I hate Changling is there. And when he notices Changling, he's like, I would let you kill me. Because he sees himself in Changling. And we've talked about this in previous episodes. He sees Changling going down the same path he had, only instead of working for the Ghost Valley Chief, he's working for Zhao Jing. Also, what about this revealing Zhao Jing as the murderer of your parents? I'm like, unless it's being saved for later, but if Wen Kexing is dead, how can that happen? I was like, I thought the whole point was, especially when Jojishu shows up and they both look up, they're like you got plenty of distance between you and the guys attacking. I would have taken that time to reveal everything Zhao Jing's been doing, lay out all of his schemes, put it all out there, everything you've pieced together like Nancy Drew, and reveal that to everybody. But they don't do it. And I'm like, but why? I have faith in the show because we have so many episodes left, which feels weird. And because we have so many episodes left, I'm like, okay, something's going to happen. Jojishu has vowed revenge and he's going to take up the mantle from Wen Kexing seemingly, but surely there's more to it than that. We just cut so many corners in this episode and got to this weird place that it didn't feel earned, especially Changling's stance and him attacking Wen Kexing did not feel earned at all. I'm like, Changling, I get that you're pissed because Jojishu and Wen Kexing decided to not tell you the truth when they should have. But I was like, you've been following them the whole time. And also, Changling not asking about Jojishu, Changling not being worried about Jojishu, that's his master, that's somebody that trained him and raised him like a second father. Like, you're suddenly abandoning him to be with Shin Shin? I was like, Shin Shin? I just feel like, and I can understand Changling being mad because when Keshing and Jojishu kind of pawned him off on Shin Shin, but I'm like, we need more time to flesh that out. It just felt like it felt very out of character for Changling, given everything that's happened the whole season. Like, you've had this nuanced, slow development with Wen Keshing and Jojishu that's felt so perfect, and then Changling becoming this little rage monster suddenly did not make any sense. It felt so out of character for him. And like, where'd Zhao Lian go? And like, I just, all the stuff that was cut was to Changling's character's detriment. This episode felt like a fanfic. It did. It felt like it was an underdeveloped fanfic. And I kind of was mad at it for several parts of it. And lots of things that are supposed to be these emotional payoffs do not feel earned. And it pissed me off. Yeah, it just made me mad. Like, Shin Shin's just standing there, and I'm like, but how did we get here? And he's like, look closely, great warriors, I have the key. Now, that's something else, where it's like, are they after the key? Who has the key to the armory? Wasn't that a thing? We're now having the Heroes Conference all over again, and Wen Keshing, since he's quote-unquote dead, Jojishu's gonna show up and wreck shit. I'm like, but this just feels like patterns of patterns. And I'm like, I thought we were breaking the cycle, not continuing it. What is happening? I have to watch now past this episode to find out what's going down and to be like, this episode feels like it feels like a red herring. This episode feels like a red herring where things that we, the audience, are like, but wait, isn't this a trap? Isn't this supposed to lead one way? I feel as if maybe it's going to come to play later on, or the novel sets this up so much better. I'm like, ah. And so he calls Venom a scorpion. He's like, I'm falling to your despicable schemes. Now, again, it feels kind of clunky because the venomous scorpions and the chief there, this dialogue between the Scorpion King and Wen Keshing, I'm like, you two talked in secret, and Zhao Jing didn't know about it. So unless stuff happened between then and now that was cut for the sake of being cut, what are y'all doing? Are you all setting this up? I just don't know. It just feels so like how we got from point A to point B. I feel like we skipped 3 points. I feel like we went from point A to point G, and we skipped a whole lot of things. And so, but then when Keshing says here, he says, didn't I want to take revenge for my father? And then Shin Shin, which is kind of, the whole point. He was trying to take revenge on Zhao Jing, which you would think Changling would be like, why are you taking revenge on your father's death? Did Zhao Jing cause your father's death? Like, are we just repeating a cycle? You feel like Changling would note this and be like, wait, what? That seems similar to my story. But then Shin Shin is talking about him living a life of honor and justice, and that Wen Keshing's a monster. And I'm like, Wen Keshing, why are you not defending and talking about how Zhao Jing killed your father? And he's the ultimate betrayer in all of this. If the divine-handed husband and wife can see this in the underworld, they would be in great pain. It's like, but they're just throwing everything back at Wen Keshing that we've seen him prove. I'm like, what is happening? And then that's when he notices Changling. And he tries to explain himself, but Changling felt like the ultimate betrayal in this. He didn't hear him out at all. I'm like, ugh. I hated that. I hated it. And when Keshing's like, you can come here and kill me, I'll let you do it. Because I owe you. And he actually confesses everything. I'm just like, I get Changling's mad, but like, it feels like we've missed so much with his character development. Like, this feels so out of character. You've been with Wen Keshing and Jojishu the whole time. And you know that Wen Keshing is not as horrible as others make him out? Why are you siding with the other people? It feels like bad writing. I'm like, oh no. I don't want to say that about this series. I'm like, no. I want to give it the benefit of the doubt. Like, stuff has been cut. The novel is probably better than this. I hope. And he's like, I'm not going to defend myself. Oh, And he tells him to come kill him. And that's when Jojishu shows up. Now, in this part, he says, do you trust him? And I'm like, when Shinshin says don't try to trick Changling, I'm like, Jojishu's like, bitch, I've been with him from the start. I'm like his second father. Why is he siding with you, Shinshin, who's known him for 5 minutes? Oh my god. Oh my god. And then, yeah, okay, so when he says he's lied to all of you, he tries to, like, spare Jojishu in all of this and say, Jojishu, let me die. They're all gonna try to kill me. You save yourself. And Jojishu's like, nah, bitch. Nah, bitch, we're not gonna go that way. And he, like, slowly floats down there. And then when he gets up to him and looks him in the eye in that moment, I was like, if they kissed, I would have been like, I would have loved that. I knew they weren't going to do that because of the censors. I knew they were not going to kiss, but they looked like they were about to. And I was like, man, if it was going to piss off everybody on top of that cliff, I would have done it. I would have done it just to be like, yes, we are lunatics making out. What about it? And he says, just save it. I loved it. He's like, save it. I'm on your side. Like, let's be real in this moment. Okay. So he tells him to save it, and then when Kexing's like, man. And he turns around to look at all of them and puts the sword against them. And I was like, you have this opportunity to air out everything against Zhao Jing, but they don't. And I don't understand. And I love the sentiment of the two of them working together to take them on, which is great. But he's like, you're from a famous sect. I'm old friends with your master. If you turn to the right side, it's not too late. And he's like, when Kexing must be killed today. This bastard's skilled at seeming and he even tricked me. You can't fall for his tricks. And he says, stop with the pointless chatter. Are you coming one at a time or all at once? Okay. And they call him a pair of devils, which I'm like, well, if they'd made out, it would have been even better. And then Ye Bai shows up, which we should not be surprised. Now, I don't know. There's something about at 11:22, it says that Jojishu says 11:23, but that timing is a little bit off for episode 32, so be happy. I don't know, because when he says the line to Wen Kexing in this episode that I have, it's like at 11:06. So I don't know. There's not any line at 11:23 that says that. So I don't know what the deal is with that. But the original line was supposedly stop making this much trouble, which was maybe the line in the Yinzen things, but it's supposed to be you're my person, my soulmate. But that, I honestly like Save It better than both of those other interpretations, because Save It is just, it says all you need to hear. Save It's like, just stop. You know that we're together, like, stop. So I don't know. The translations are weird. I don't know. It's odd. But anyway, we're going to get into this bonus scene here in a second. But first of all, I'm not surprised Ye Bai attacks Wen Kexing, because that part is consistent. That part, Ye Bai was like, if I ever see you again, I'm going to kill you. That part is consistent with him. And honestly, the horrible part of this is that the idea from the beginning of this episode was that Wen Kexing was going to go back and get the key and then leave, and then they all cornered him. So he kind of he kind of can't help it that he's there. And Wen Kexing's like, sure, go ahead and try. I do love Wen Kexing's fan having the blood around the edges. That part's really good. So they start fighting, all of them. Now, the thing is, the changing ghost, the happy ghost, the ghoul come from under the mountain, under the cliff. Nobody comments anything about this, since they're trying to stop the Ghost Valley, but the ghosts are fighting Jojishu. Nobody comments anything about that. They don't even treat that as if it's weird. I'm like, wow. Obviously, the Scorpion King and the Scorpions wouldn't think it's weird because they're working for them. But you'd think the other cultivators on top of the hill, including Shinshin, would be like, but if if Jojishu's siding with Winkeshing, the ghost chief, and the ghosts in the Ghost Valley are attacking Jojishu, why would that be? But then I'm like, are they supposed to be portrayed as dumb and they just don't pay attention to that stuff like that? But what about Changling? Why wouldn't Changling question it? Was he that quickly brainwashed? Like, what? I really had in my mind that Shinshin was going to confront Zhao Jing about all of this, and that didn't happen. And that Changling would have a conversation with Jojishu and Winkeshing, and that didn't happen. That Scorpion King would be plotting against Zhao Jing to take him down at this point, but that hasn't happened. It was suddenly like the studio suddenly sided with Zhao Jing and we're like, let's make him have a great day. Insane. So, yeah. So they talk about stuff about Ye Bai Yi we already know. And him and them fight, which is a good fight scene between the two of them. But then Changling runs down and both Winkeshing and Jojishu are afraid that Changling's going to get hurt in the fray. And he tells him, don't. And then he fired from the Dragon Pool cabinet. He fired a nail through the water to hit Winkeshing. And it knocked him back. Now, I don't know if the dart that he sent that hit Winkeshing, I don't know if the dart was supposed to sedate him or supposed to kill him. I don't know. There's a part of me that's like, is all of this been orchestrated and it's all a big elaborate plan? Because it feels so weird. I don't know. It feels off-putting. So, because Jojishu did not see Winkeshing firing the dart, the water prevented anybody from seeing the dart being fired. So, did and it actually hit like right here. So it didn't pierce the heart. It would have maybe pierced the lung or the side or something like that. So it wasn't like a lethal dart necessarily. It could have been, but wouldn't have to be. But I'm like, so did Changling inadvertently save Winkeshing or did he kill him? Was his aim just bad and he was aiming for the heart? Or Jojishu did not see Changling attack him, and neither did Ye Bai Yi. So they both think that he was just knocked back. Or maybe Ye Bai Yi looked over and saw him hit him and knew that he attacked him. They don't make it clear. He does fly back an unreasonable degree. Like he flew back a lot. Which is fine. But then now Ye Bai Yi saves Jojishu as he dives down to go get him. Ye Bai Yi, flies down to save Jojishu. But Changling is like, oh, master. I'm like, now you care. What? But so does Changling know that Jojishu is alive? Does he know that? I don't know. I want to go to this behind the scenes footage and show you all it. It's on Tumblr from, it was from Miyu21. If you want to look up Miyu21 on Tumblr, they have this behind the scenes thing. It's like 1.5 minutes long. I'm going to put my headphones in to check this out with you all. But we're going to look at this, if I can get my headphones in, this behind the scenes footage moment. I'm going to turn the sound on. And we're going to make sure it doesn't blow my ears out. We're going to do that here in 3, 2, 1. And let's see what this is. Oh, yeah. We went off a bit. I mean, they do a good job of suspending him there. Oh, that was a nice shot of him they left in. Why was he smiling going down there? Was he going to just sleep down with him? I mean, the part of him flying down to get him, like he was going to save him. Yeah, he just looks so ethereal there. And then he gets grabbed and taken away. Uh, well, damn it. Was that it? Say, add a little behind the scenes with that. Okay. Okay. I just had the soundtrack behind it, so it wasn't like, you know, not necessarily needed. Oh my god. But yeah, so I do appreciate of course we have to have our lovers come at him. I don't know exactly why Jojichi was smiling to come down to get him. Like, your lover's falling to his death and you're smiling as you're jumping after him. Did you guys think you were just going to go out together and then Yay Bai saved you, knocked you out, and then put you up in an inn? Meanwhile, everybody is celebrating. Scorpion King doesn't look too surprised. So did Scorpion King and them figure out something else was going to happen? Also, the whole time that Zhao Jing had the sword behind his back, I thought he was going to stab Zhou Jishu. I thought that's what was going to happen. I don't know. But Scorpion King makes the comment saying the armory key is on his body. Well, did they not bring his body back to the place to where Zhao Jing and them is? So do they have the armory key? They don't specify that. They don't specify whether they have the key or not. Is it with Zhao Jing? What about the alluring ghost? We're going to talk about her. That was honestly my favorite part of this entire episode. The alluring ghost, where she had the beautiful funeral robes on and we're burning the funeral paper by his body. That was the most beautiful symbolism because of thinking about the alluring ghost and Wen Kexing and their relationship throughout this entire series and how they're so similar but different, and her lighting funeral paper for him. I love that scene. I thought that was really, really well done. So I was with Zhou Jishu. When he walked downstairs, I wanted him to think at the Peace Hotel that this was all a dream. I was going to be like, oh, show, you got me. We still got to go do things. You got me. Nope. Yay Bai dropped him off out of just being nice, I guess. Oh, sorry, your boyfriend's dead. I'll drop you off at the Peace Hotel and you can chill out. I'm on my way to do other things. Meanwhile, this is like nightmare scenario where Zhao Jing gets everything that he wants. He has Chengling and Xin by his side, and now he technically has Zhao Lian because of that, so he can mull that all over. Xin's doing jack shit again, not questioning anything. Yay Bai's like, boomer did boomer jobs, and then is not going to question anything, even though Zhao Jing is clearly the one responsible, and Yay Bai kind of knows that. Why are we not doing anything about it? And then Scorpion King, Scorpion King is the one I kind of am most forgiving of in this, because Scorpion King is still very much under Zhao Jing's thumb, even though he has been slowly seeing the real Zhao Jing and how he should. We, the audience, are like, Zhao Jing is terrible. The worst. And you should probably get away from him. But that is easier said than done when you're in an abusive relationship and you've been literally toxically coddled by Zhao Jing. That's easier said than done. And the moment that Zhao Jing's like recognizes Scorpion King as his son and as, part of his family, and toasts him in front of everyone and gives him the recognition that he wanted. The actor Daikun that plays Scorpion King does such a phenomenal job of relaying that emotion. The way his eyes like lit up like a puppy dog's whenever he did that in that scene. Oh, but then that leads to like the end of the episode, which we'll wait and get to by the end. But like, I don't blame. Of all the characters in this room, the Scorpion King is the one that is least egregious, because at least there's a pattern and a history there of him being strung along toxically by Zhao Jing. That all makes sense. Yay Bai makes no sense. You know Zhao Jing is corrupt. And you had this weird thing about this weird oath you had with your former lover that died about cleaning up the Ghost Valley, but it's so misguided at this point that I'm like, what are you doing? When you know the truth, you were there at Dragon Pool Cabinet to hear the whole story. The fudge boomer, and then Changling makes no sense. That whole characterization, I'm like, why did we make Changling into this pubescent monster that has forgotten everything leading up to this point? What? Xin, was on a roll and then suddenly regressed 20 steps. I'm like, I do not understand the writing at this point, but I'm hoping the novel is much better than this, because I was like, what the fudge? So anyway, they have this whole point, and Master Mo and Master Fawn, when he like looks over and sees, you know, Zhao Jing and the Scorpion King, he's like, well, I don't support that type of relationship, but oh well. I was like, we're gonna talk about Master Fawn. I was so pissed. I was so mad. Anyway, so yeah, everybody just like, it felt like a fan fiction where we had all this character development and then suddenly we just threw it all away. And I was like, but we've been here for 30 something episodes. What is happening? So yeah, so meanwhile, Changling is in his study. Obviously, he has a lot of conflicting emotions, and he hears Guzhong outside. And when he hears Guzhong and he's crying, he like tenses up, like he doesn't want to talk to her about maybe inadvertently causing her master's death after everything they've gone through, which we should probably have that conversation, because hello, you all have had a relationship this entire series that's been just thrown to the wayside. And they don't even get a chance to talk in this. Instead, I want to rant for a second, because we have, you know, her looking for Changling, and then she sees the junior master, and the first thing he tells her is to shut up. Ultimate betrayal by this man. What happened to the kind man that met her like 6 episodes ago and was like, oh, you're welcome in the Gentle Wind sect and all this stuff. Nah. He's like, evil amethyst fiend woman, where did you kidnap Wei Ning off to? And I was like, oh, we're just going to ruin his character in 5 minutes, aren't we? I was so mad, because she's like, even if he was mad that she lied about being the amethyst fiend, even if that was the case, Wen Kexing's dead. So, in all intents and purposes with the show at this point, why is he going off on her? Like, I thought he was this kind, open-minded person, and it turns out he is not. He is a horribly corrupt person, just like the others. And Sa Weining is like the saving grace, where he's like, no. He's like, she's my wife, and I'm gonna protect her. I was so mad that they just ruined Fawn's character in like 2 seconds. I was like, well, he's just as bad as everyone else. Okay. I'm like, have they all been poisoned? Have they all been like drinking drugs? Are they all on LSD? I don't know. Then we cut to Alluring Ghost lighting the funeral paper. She looks amazing. I love this scene so much. And Zhou Jishu and her have really had like no scenes together throughout this whole series. And she stands in front of the door like she doesn't want him. He's like, is Wen Kexing inside? And she's like, why, you love him or something? So there's a Ghost Valley intruder, which is her. But then there's also a spy, which is him. And she's like, I'm just trying to like light some funeral paper for him and everything. And then we see the body. Now, question. We don't know what happened to the Alluring Ghost after this scene. Did she grab him from the burning building and leave with his body? Did she do that? Why didn't Zhou Jishu walk in there and check for a pulse? Why didn't Zhou Jishu walk in there and check for a pulse? What if he wasn't dead? What if she was, I know she's lighting funeral paper, so that would lead to the assumption that he's dead, but if this is your soulmate, why wouldn't she walk in there and check his pulse and like look down at his face one more time before lighting the fire? I mean, I guess in his grief, he doesn't want to get too close because he feels like he'd be overwhelmed with emotion. I can understand that. It felt so rushed and so weird, and that he just sees it, and there's just conveniently a straw pile by them. Conveniently a straw pile to burn the body and get rid of the evidence. I just like, what? And so then they're like a spy and everything, and Sa Weining's like, bye. I'm like, what did the assassin look like? And she realizes it's Zhou Jishu. So in this point, he, instead of like letting the body be defiled or anything, he spreads the fire in there, and she dodges out of the way as everything's lit on fire. And then he like runs away after like lighting his lover's body on fire. Now she just stands there as they run towards the burning building. Did she get the body out? Did she do anything? Did she just stand there? They just ran past her. I thought she was the ghost intruder. The writing in this episode is so bizarre, and it's been so strong up until this point, and then it just gets so clunky in this episode. And I know it's because they've had to cut a lot. I know it's probably killing you all to not tell me what the novel does, and I appreciate that you're not spoiling me so much. I am sure when I read the novel or when we watch later episodes, this will all make sense, but I was just baffled by this. And then they have the conversation with, Guzhong collapsing and Zhou Jishu telling Sao Weining where to take her. But damn, poor Sao Weining looking completely disheveled. Guzhong's acting was amazing. I felt so bad for her. And then he's like, take my 18 disciples with you from the last episode that we've done nothing with so far. Take them with you. Go stay with the great shaman in the Lord's Seventh. He's like, I got things to do. And so then he basically drinks on the mountain and is really sorrowful about Wen Kexing dying. And we have the montage of them together. And I was like, how dare you? And then Zhou Jishu reveals, he's like, I always knew what you wanted and how things were going to be. And he's like, I get your whole thing now about the corrupted martial arts world. They are as bad as you said. Despite everything they're still going through with all this, I guess I'm going to take up the mantle and finish what you started. I did not see this coming in this episode at all. At all. There was also a lot of drinking, a lot of toasting and pouring out and wasting wine, and a lot of bottles breaking in this episode. He's like, don't you want to see to the ending? Now I kind of do. I want to see it to the ending because I have to see how we're doing this. So he opened up the elixir. Now, did he take the elixir out of there? Is that why it's open? Your injury is serious in that once the nails are removed, your internal injury will break all your meridians. Okay, the elixir can temporarily protect those meridians and withstand the flow of internal injury. Okay, but he has on there 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. There are 7 nail holes in there where the world is unimportant. It is meeting the soulmate that's important. And since the soulmate has gone, what do I have to care about? So I'm like, so basically, is he going to take the nails out and use the elixir so he won't die in the moment? But then after everything that happens, then he's going to die? It's going to be really, it feels like a very Romeo and Juliet moment where I'm like, it feels very Romeo and Juliet where I'm like, I don't think Wen Kexing's dead. I think something is amiss. Something is afoot. But I'm like, Zhou Jishu, did you just screw up and make it to where you're going to die? Or maybe him and Zhou Jishu are both going to die. Maybe Wen Kexing and Zhou Jishu are both going to die. And it's going to be like a Romeo and Juliet thing. But I feel like it could be in the sense that he's going to do something bad. And then it's going to come out that Wen Kexing's fine. And he's still going to die. And it's like, what the fudge? So yeah, I also, this whole scene where they all surround Zhao Jing and they're all on either side of him. There's a Scorpion King on one side. There's Shin Shin on the other side. And then there's Changling in front of him. And they all have him cornered and do the final toast with him. There was something weird about this scene. I don't know how to describe it. Like just the way the actors glanced at each other, the way the characters glanced at each other, the way they surrounded him. It felt like one of two things. Either this is a weird bizarro world moment and Shin Shin, Changling, and Scorpion King are all supporting Zhao Jing and it's like the worst timeline has been imagined and is having it out in this moment. Or the three of them are all like in on a joke, in on a plot, and they're all turning towards Zhao Jing. Like the three of them are going to betray him at some point in the next few episodes. And he's like, oh, silly. He's like, I don't look at only what's in front of you. There's a battle to uphold justice, to wipe out the devils. And as for whether I become supreme leader or not, that's not important. But they all like stare at him, and then everyone else follows suit to toast him. But they all, I don't know, in this moment, he's like, it was after our alliance leader Zhao and young leader appeared and schemed brilliantly, they were able to kill the ghost chief in one move. So Scorpion King seems like he's reflecting on something that him and Wen Kexing talked about, but we don't know what that is. We don't know where that's leading. And it cuts to him. Then it cuts to Shin Shin, who looks away as well. Like, what they said affects him. And I'm like, is he in on the plot? Is he in on the trap? And then it cuts to Changling, who's looking suspicious as well. So I'm like, is this all a plot? And Zhou Zhishu's the one that doesn't know about it. And Zhou Zhishu's screwing this all up. What? Like, did Changling get to let out all of his anger and aggression on Wen Kexing in that moment at the cliff and then was in on this? I don't know. It feels like it could be all a setup and a trap, or it feels like they're all just on Zhao Jing's side. Because then in that moment, Zhao Jing looks at them all, and Shin Shin looks to Scorpion King, and Scorpion King looks back at Zhao Jing like, and does the smile like, nothing's wrong here. And he's like, oh, well, everything's great. I don't know what to believe. I don't know if this is a moment where Zhao Jing has done so well, or if there has been a trap set and Zhao Jing doesn't understand it. Also, Changling drinking the toast and drinking the liquor, when before when he drank the wine, he was like, oh, it's spicy, I don't want to do it. And now he just drinks it. I want to believe that Changling's character is in on the ruse, but I don't think he is. And I'm like, why have they ruined Changling's character? I don't know. Then Ye Bai has this like moment where he's talking about Chang Ching and being like, would you have done the same thing that I did? And, you know, he's like, you know, you ended up, he's like, you're a self-opinionated bastard. And then a self-appointed. He's like, you formed the Ghost Valley and created the Water of Oblivion, which we're like, oh, so this was him. Your bestie, your soulmate did all of these things. You're like, you and him are kind of like the Zhou Zhishu and Wen Kexing equivalents. Do you not see the irony in that, sir? You wanted to give the evil in the world a path to reform. But who gave you the chance to live? So basically, the Ghost Valley was intended to be like a reformation of people that were the worst of the worst, and it went awry. Imagine that. And Ye Bai's like, what was the point? It didn't work like you wanted it to. And then he's like, would you have done the same thing I would have done in this sense? I don't know. He's like, I promised I'd clean up this mess for you. And he's like, I ended up, you know, killing the person that maybe I shouldn't have. I'm just like, I like, Ye Bai, do you regret things? Are you having regrets? What do we do with this? Oh, it's so frustrating. I'm so frustrated, y'all. Anyway, so then we have the second best part of this episode, though, is this last scene. The second best part of this episode is this last scene. Because all of it was believable and in Du Puang's character, because he's a womanizer, so he would not naturally accept the advances of Zhao Jing. Now that we know it's the alluring ghost, I'm like, oh, the body language, everything reads her. And her being like, I want nothing to do with you. Like, it works so perfect. So basically, the alluring ghost tricks Zhao Jing into admitting he's going to throw Scorpion King under the bus. He's going to throw him under the bus so that he can take control of the venomous scorpions and the window of heaven together. Like, it's so good. And the alluring ghost uses her disguise to convince Zhao Jing that Prince Jin and the window of heaven are now against him. Which is an amazing setup. Because we've not seen Prince Jin and Zhao Jing in the same capacity or seen together yet. So they're two entities that haven't crossed paths in this world. And then the Scorpion King says, how was it? Like he was setting this all up. So I'm like, okay, he was setting this up to see if it would reveal Zhao Jing. He says, the human heart cannot bear testing. And then I love, Zhao Jing said he would reinitiate the Heroes Conference and fight against the Ghost Valley to the end. Love it. Using evil to kill evil is not against the will of the heavens. Oh, bitch. And after the battle, he will kill you and take over the venomous scorpions. Oh, so that scene in itself gives me hope. Because the whole time, even as the Scorpion King was getting the praise he finally wanted from Zhao Jing, he was suspicious of him even then. And so everything on the cliffside, everything was Wen Kexing. I maintain. Do I think Changling knows about all this? No. Do I think Shinshin knows about all this? Maybe. Maybe not. Probably not. But I think that there's still stuff going on between Wen Kexing and Scorpion King that happened in this episode that I don't know. I don't know if Wen Kexing anticipated Changling hurting him, if that was even hurting him. I don't know. If something from the Dragon Pool cabinet, I don't know. But the fact that the Scorpion King is still very suspicious of Zhao Jing despite everything and knows that the plot now and is still scheming behind his back makes me have hope for the next several episodes. I know you all are probably sitting on your hands and being like, Romania, just have faith. Just keep going. And I will. I've not lost faith in this show. I am very curious how the hell they're going to handle it moving forward, but we're just going to find out. So anyway, episode 33 is next. We have like 4 to 5 episodes left, y'all. Oh my. And Zhao Jishu is gonna go on a rampage. So hopefully that works out. But anyway, holy shit. So I hope y'all have a wonderful week. I've talked for nearly an hour about this episode. And honestly, when I started talking about this episode, I thought I'd maybe talk for 10 minutes because I didn't know what I would say about it. But there are things, I'm going to reorganize all of this before next week again. Anyway, so I hope you all have a wonderful week. Please stay safe, take care, and yeah, I'll be back very soon with episode 33 and whatever comes next of Word of Honor. Peace.